oh, oh, bum, 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 oh, oh, bum, 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 LRT. What's up, folks? Welcome to what is either the Patreon episode or the free episode, depending on how saucy we get in compared to the last episode we just recorded.
I did smoke several bowls, so anything can happen.
Several bowls.
Several.
Yes.
And Joe's the kind of guy that, like, weed doesn't mellow him out. It only brings his true form more into fruition.
It fires me up, but it's the only way I can edit the podcast. That's how I get in the zone, man. I gotta get in that mindset where I'm almost like I'm in the room having a conversation with you guys as I edit the sound to make sure I don't inadvertently slip in an N-word to the mainstream audience that's not ready for it.
That's the thing, is they're not ready.
Yeah, they're not ready for it. It's like, yo, I got a new album coming out. Y'all ain't ready for this.
Yeah. Now. Y'all ain't ready for this. It's just the song, but instead of y'all ready for this, it's y'all ain't ready for this.
I call my album that because it's impossible for me to go a full hour without saying the N-word. So it's like I gotta fucking build up to it.
Yeah, no, when I get high, I don't think it's good for comedy at all.
Oh, no, why?
Like, I did a podcast once, I took an edible before, and I just felt like I watched other people have fun for an hour.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, just silent. I can't imagine, because I've never performed high.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine that level of judgment that you must feel. Not only in the room, but knowing that people are going to listen to it later and being paranoid while that's happening.
Yeah.
I'd very rarely get paranoid, but when I got paranoid, I never, like, went to the hospital or anything. But
You got, like, paranoid looking inside of your head. It's like, fuck. Anytime I try and do song lyrics now, I can't. I need to be high for this, I think.
You just did a 180. You're like, I can't
paranoid
perform
looking
high.
over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm feeling within. It's like the face inside is right
Inside
beneath.
my ass.
There you go.
Dude, I love Linkin Park, dude.
Yeah.
What else are you going to listen to when your dad won't drive you to the dance?
That's so
Yeah.
funny. Like, that guy was always whining about shit.
Yeah.
And then did the ultimate crybaby move, killed himself.
Yeah.
What a fucking crybaby, dude.
Yeah.
At least he was finally fucking proactive about it. Unlike fucking whining about certain people.
Yeah.
You know, like certain comics that constantly talk about killing themselves on Facebook, but they never go through with it. And it's like, well, goddamn, dude, shit or get off the pop.
We're ACK here on LRT, and I think at a certain point it's like, well, just do it, dude.
Don't clog my news feed with this shit. I'm trying to. Bikini season's coming up, and I want to make sure my nubile young friends are posting photos, and I don't want to hear some fucking loser talk about how, like, oh, I want to fucking kill myself. Why? Is it hard to fucking breathe in and out and eat food every day? That's all you have to do, motherfucker. Oh, it's hard. Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this is a fucking Aryan man in America. Whatever.
Yeah.
I
like the idea that you're preparing for bikini season for you is like clearing your news feed of other people posting things not bikini related.
Yeah.
You're not changing the way you eat or exercise.
Is there any non-creepy way to say the word nubile?
Come on, dude. Of course not. It was like that's the word that was like clearly invented by perverts.
Yeah,
To
there's
describe, like, you know.
Yeah, there's nubile.
What is that?
Nubile.
It's like young and tender.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's like to describe a young girl, nubile. Let me see what like the exact definition is. But I feel there's
Matt's
no.
about to be put on a watch list because he Googles
Yeah.
nubile girl.
I type in N and
He
the first
immediately
thing
types in old bile just to cover his bases.
I type in N and the first thing comes up is nubile and the N word in my search history.
Nice, dude. Matt had to make sure he was spelling it correctly before he anonymously posted it on a bunch of black
Nubile.
comedians' Facebook pages.
Of a young woman, sexually attractive, sexually mature, old enough for marriage. Oh, it's okay.
Oh, actually, you're kind of covering your bases.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you were counting down until they became
Yeah.
nubile.
So nubile is like they look young, but they're old enough. Like a girl who's above 18 but looks under 18,
Yeah.
maybe.
You see, that was like an old ass way of saying top shelf bitch.
There you go.
TSB.
The TSBs.
Welcome to Locker Room Talk, everyone. Joe Gorman, Matt Maran, Bobby Sheehan,
Talking about TSBs.
coming at you live from New York City.
And it
Big
looks-
Apple.
Looks
We're
like
going
the
on
rain,
tour.
rain finally stopped, looks like.
It's a little break. We're in the eye of the storm.
It was raining all day. and yesterday. Rough weekend. We've been having like 80-degree days during the week, and then it gets like rainy on the weekends.
Welcome to Locker Room Talk with Uncle Matt.
You can tell it's like the second episode.
Yeah,
We're already out
the
of fucking
weather.
stuff.
We're
He's
talking
talking
about-
about the fuck. You know, it was crazy. It was 1 minute it's raining. Next
Yeah.
minute, I don't need a jacket. It's like, what's going on here?
80
I gotta talk-
degrees when I tell that bitch, please.
I got to touch some of the Jews that I know.
Yeah, man.
What's
make
going
it-
on with this weather?
Yeah, make it a little more livable, huh?
As
Yeah.
long as old men sit and talk about the weather,
Right.
old women will sit around and talk about old men.
Really?
It's just the way life goes, Joseph.
That's
I don't
just the
make
way
the
it is?
rules.
Old women talk about old men?
Yeah.
And horoscopes.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, do you think is horoscopes, it seems like a young woman thing.
What? No, that's like an old woman thing.
Yeah.
It's a woman thing for
Yeah,
sure.
it really is. It's like everyone's into it.
yeah.
Even like, you know, I've seen like women in their 50s talk about like Mercury being in retrograde and shit.
It's a
Okay.
thing that you,
It
by
goes
the
all
way,
the way to the top.
you have to like participate in. Like a woman at work was like, "What's your sign?" And I can't just go, "Shut up, you dumb bitch." You know, like I do have to like be like, "I'm a Virgo."
You can just say like, "Oh, I was born this day," and they know exactly like
Yeah.
what it is.
Just say the day. Yeah, because then I'll say Leo, and they'll be like, "What's your rising?" And then I say, "Shut up, you dumb bitch."
Yeah, it's like I don't know my fucking rising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know any of that shit.
I know I was rising because you were hot, but then you started asking me my sign, and now I'm moon. That's the opposite of rising, I think, in horoscopes.
I thought it would be the opposite. It would be setting.
Setting. Yeah, no, it's your rising and your moon.
My descending.
Set and setting
Yeah.
for your sign.
Yeah.
Here's your sign. That's actually what Bill Engvall was talking about.
Yeah.
Was he?
He was a big astrology.
Are
Billy-
you being serious right now?
the
No,
female
I'm
Bill,
doing a
the
little sketch.
Billy Joe Engvall, and here's your sign, and it's all horoscope jokes.
Yeah. Oh, that would be beautiful.
Yeah.
Damn. Now, is that
If you've ever been the center of attention, you might be a Leo.
I wonder, are women attracted? Is that an attractive quality for a woman if a man is like, I actually know a lot about horoscopes, or is it like, you're gay? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I feel like you don't want to be too into them, but if you have a cursory knowledge of it, it could be kind of a cool thing.
It could
to
be an
connect on.
opener, but if you're like, oh, I have my chart right here,
Yeah,
it's sort of the opposite of like, it'd be cool to have a like you would like a girlfriend that likes sports.
Yeah.
But if she was like, I play them all the time, and therefore I have really defined manly shoulders, you'd be like, well, all right, let's
maybe. I mean, I don't know, because like the girls that are like sports reporters on ESPN, I feel like they could still be really cool.
Okay.
So they could know a lot about
You
it.
have a little brewski with them.
Yeah, I think
You
so.
can have a beer with them.
Yeah. Yeah, I want the kind of girl I want to marry is like the kind of girl you want to have a beer
You
with.
want to have a beer with.
Yeah. I date women based on how I vote for president. It's also a bad way to vote for president.
Yeah.
But
Especially because the last two guys it was applied to famously do not drink alcohol.
Who?
Trump and Bush.
Trump and Bush, yeah. Oh, I would like to have a beer with Bush. Really, the guy that was pulled over by a police officer for driving erratically in the 80s?
I would fucking smoke a blunt with Obama.
That would be cool.
I'd be like, let me kill somebody with a drone, dude.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, well, okay. Just stay away from my daughters. I don't want you to dick them down.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, yes, sir, Mr. President. And then I do it anyway to make a statement.
Okay.
Right.
Thank God his daughters are like fucking in their 40s now. How wild is that? Is that you think you're old, dude? Obama's daughters are in their 50s.
Damn. Oh,
think
they
you're old?
aged 10 years in this
You
conversation.
better believe it, dude. They're getting some kind of fucking like weird.
They
fucking
still
government shit.
look like they're 16 though, because black don't crack.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nah, but they are.
Wait,
Like,
so these are women aging rapidly. So they've started doing comedy?
Uh huh.
Yeah.
God damn,
crazy.
Bobby. Who fucking scorned you in the comedy scene? That's you've been ripping on women across 2 podcasts now.
Ripping on them. You know what the thing is, too? Every woman at an open mic is like, men this, men that, and you just have to, like, at the very least, not in agreement with how strong and brave they're being. So now I feel like I'm alone in the room with some men on a tough guy podcast.
Yeah.
It's time for me to say what I really think.
Well, I do think it is annoying when at this point, when a guy goes up and is like, women are like this, or when a woman goes up and is like, guys are like this. I think both of those things are annoying.
You both were molested, okay?
But
Quit comedy and start a family together.
But when there is a room where it's like a lot of these open mic rooms, especially where it's 15 guys and 1 girl, and she's doing it, I'm kind of like, all right, go ahead. Have fun.
You're in the lion's den, sister, so...
Yeah, I don't look at her and think she's brave, but I don't like. There is like a little bit of, if you're a dude at the open mic and you're ranting about women, I'm kind of like, all right. But if you're the girl in a room full of dudes ranting about men, I don't think it's necessarily original or funny, but I'm a little bit more forgiving of it.
You know what I've noticed women doing in comedy recently is they have bits where they say like very obvious things to us, to men, that I think they just realized. Like there's a woman doing a bit where I've seen her do it a couple times where she says, you shouldn't approach a man in public. Or I'm sorry, if you're a man, you shouldn't approach a woman in public unless you're really hot. And it's supposed to be like, oh, she got us with the misdirection, but I'm like, every man knows that.
Yeah.
It's
the problem is every man thinks he's hot.
Yeah. I don't think that's true.
Well,
so
but the idea of like every man should only approach women if they're hot. Every woman has been approached by a guy who they're not into.
Yeah.
That guy probably approaches the girl thinking, she's not going to be completely turned off by me.
Oh, interesting.
So, like,
And,
not necessarily that they think they're hot, but they don't think that they are ugly enough to not approach women.
And they also think, like, well, most guys don't have the confidence to approach a woman.
Yeah.
When really, like, guys have nothing but confidence.
The amount
what you need to say is, I have a gun in my pocket.
Right.
So I want you to smile at the bartender, pay your tab, and work your way to the exit. Mm-hmm. My mom will be outside
Your mom
in the Toyota Corolla.
I don't know why the Toyota Corolla makes it so much funnier.
No sudden movements. My mom just helps me out.
She freaks out, and you're like, okay, would it change your mind if I had a Nissan Altima?
Now, Joe, I'm curious. Is your mom an unwilling or unknowing participant, or is she like, that's just how my Joey likes to do it?
I feel like she would just be like unwitting, like she wouldn't understand what's going, like a Mr. Magoo type situation. Is this your day? My mom's like not like she's like an old lady in this situation where she's just like, is that your date for the prom? Even though I'm in my 40s. We're having a good time, man.
A whole new meaning to a shotgun wedding. But
Yes.
It's more of a pistol one-night stand.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a lot of it is people like the amount of girls be like, even if the guy's not that good looking, if he's really confident, that's fine. And that just gives so many ugly guys are like, okay, I will confidently DM women all the time now.
Yeah. The coolest thing to do is like be like, get away from me. Get the hell away from me.
I'm pure.
Alone.
I don't take my purity.
I don't want you to get hurt.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole
That's what you say. It's like I can't date because,
I don't want you
if
to
you get
hurt.
too close to me, you're just going to end up hurt like everyone else.
That sounds real poetic, but it's just you admitting that you punch one in the eye and you get angry. I just don't want to hurt you again, baby.
Yeah. Watch out. If you get near, it's going to be your own fault.
Everyone who falls in love with me ends up getting hurt.
It's
By
like an
getting
Instagram
hurt.
picture.
Because I just love hitting women.
Every woman I've been with has gotten hurt by dying of HIV-related diseases. Matt's a super spreader.
Yeah.
The whole like you just gotta have confidence. It's confidence can make an already hot guy hotter, but if you're not hot, it just comes off as delusional.
Yeah, and dangerous.
And dangerous.
Yeah. Also, the amount of like we briefly talked about country music on the last, but like just the country music songs, or just the sad like song where someone like talks about how they've hurt people. Mm-hmm. Like that's not just in country music, but there's a lot of country music songs about drowning my sorrows because of all the things I regret. And the thing is, there's something in general always likable about someone admitting that they've done wrong. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you're listening to it and it's like, this guy is just saying I'm a bad person and I know I am. And that we should still be like, all right, but why'd you do the bad shit?
Yeah.
Like why? You're still an asshole.
No, he's not. He's innocent, baby.
And like Chris Brown has lines where it's like, I know you did some stuff. I did some stuff.
Yeah.
It's so very funny. It's like,
Does he actually?
You certainly did some stuff.
Well, he did some stuff. He got herpes from Rihanna because Rihanna blew Jay-Z. as we discussed in some episode, whether it was a Patreon episode, a bonus episode, whether this is a Patreon episode or a bonus episode.
Who knows? The
important
world may
thing-
never know.
The important thing is that Rihanna sucked Jay-Z's dick and then gave Chris Brown herpes, which was why he beat her ass before they got into the VMA Awards.
Wow. This whole episode, Jay-Z this, Jay-Z that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
Jay-Z
another
this,
rap.
get off of Jay-Z dick, you know?
Oh.
I like Jay-Z, but I do think he's overrated.
Jigga what?
No, Matt, it's not pronounced Jigga.
Yes, it is.
In this, a gigawatt is like a very slow electricity.
Yeah.
In a let's say
A gigawatt?
Yeah. Let's just say in an uninformed voter neighborhood.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, people that put Jay-Z like at the number one, I'm like, you were just in a very specific place and time in history.
Where Big Pimpin' came out.
Yeah, you were like a Gen X black guy in Bed-Stuy, and
Or
Biggie died.
A post 9/11 New Yorker hearing Empire State.
Yeah,
Yeah. Trying to get that rebel off your shoulder.
You walk out of like fucking ground zero, get that dust on you, get that. Everyone just comes out. Super cut of everyone walking out of the fucking rubble.
All the firefighters getting the dirt off their shoulder.
New York strong.
They're looking
The
around,
day
wow,
G-
everything is crazy, baby. Wow.
The day Jay-Z became a New York hero.
Damn, we gotta fucking make that super cut of like the
Yeah.
9/11 footage. Where it's
With Jay-Z get that dirt off your shoulder.
started like the planes crashing into the towers, and then oh my god!
If
Have
you
a
have
close
girl
up, have
problems,
a-
I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but 2 towers ain't one.
Have a clip of someone jumping out of the top window and he's going down in New York.
Concrete pavements, what I'm gonna hit.
Oh,
Damn. It was a tragic day, 09.
Was it?
Right, yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I was in a different time zone.
19 heroic Muslims died on that day.
Yes. And a 20th one, unfortunately, didn't make it to his destination.
Where did he
Classic American Airlines.
Yeah.
go? They crashed right in Virginia.
Pennsylvania.
Well,
Pennsylvania.
they say the 20th hijacker because the plan was for them to have 20, and they never found the guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
There was
they-
just one guy who
Didn't like make it to on the airplane or whatever.
he was
slept
nervous.
in.
He was nervous.
nervous, but on the surface he looked calm.
He slept in there like, oh, someone's going to kill me. He's like, not today, not today. He turns on the TV. He sees it. It's like, oh,
He's
shit.
Blink-182 starts playing and he's taking his skateboard trying to get there on time.
Yeah. Work sucks. I know.
Damn, what a fucking great idea for a movie.
She left me roses on the stairs, but then the stairs collapsed and the roses went everywhere.
An idea of the 20th hijacker who slept in. That is
Misty. When the alarm goes in the morning, I don't care if in the
There
morning.
is a fucking movie where Seth MacFarlane and the 20th hijacker get drinks together, learn they're not so different after all, and as fate would have it, they both overslept, and then they both didn't die in 9/11. Why are we doing a podcast, dude? We got to write that goddamn script right now.
I remember that. Yeah, Seth MacFarlane fucking was supposed to be on that plane.
Yeah.
But thank God he didn't get on so we can watch American Dad.
Yeah.
The greatest fucking animated show of all time, dude. I love American Dad.
Yeah, more than Family Guy.
Fuck yeah, way
that
more
is.
way more than Family Guy,
Dr.
dude.
Pepper to their Coca-Cola.
Dude,
Yeah.
American Dad is so fucking funny. It's such a good.
I've seen.
show.
I haven't seen enough of it for me to put it over Family Guy, but
Binge watch
I
it.
do like American.
like start
Dad.
around season 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It's
What's
so funny.
What were you into a Cleveland show at all?
Yeah, Cleveland show was like it had potential, but it just
Yeah.
never could figure out what it. They didn't have. It was clearly did not have any black writers on the staff.
Yeah.
You know.
That was their Cleveland-bound death sentence, I think.
Oh, absolutely. They
Yeah.
need to, and they need to darken it up. You know.
Darken it
what
up.
did they say? 1,000 monkeys on 1,000 typewriters can create a show a fraction as good as Family Guy.
3/5 is good.
At least. What, Bobby? It's philosophy. You love philosophy.
That is true. It is philosophy.
Yeah.
1,000 monkeys on 1,000 typewriters. What's the problem?
What are they?
What's the problem, Bobber?
Is that saying going to still be around with like ChatGPT and all?
No, it's going to be like
Because now
one.
it's just like we have AI. Like was like, 1,000 monkeys on 1,000 typewriters. Like, why would you ever even think? What does that even mean? Like, why would you do that?
How the fuck are teachers going to tell the difference between AI
and
software?
a kid's paper? Yeah.
It's like just use AI to AI to write out the bulk of your paper, and then you just go back and you change some stuff. You change some stuff around to make it sound more in your voice.
Or you can ask ChatGPT, write this as if I wrote it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or write this as if ChatGPT wrote it, and then I edited it myself.
Yeah.
In my voice.
And then it's just it's just so fucking meta.
It's like, all right, we get it, retard. And then it fucking gives, look, this is what you want.
I did when I was in high school. I had an AP psychology class, and I remember me and a couple other kids. It was like a group of 5 of us. So a different one of us would do the homework each day, email it to the others, and we would all write it. I would change it to be. I would change it to be in my voice a little bit, but as another student was the monitor who would grade the homeworks.
You type TH where the S's are.
Yeah, more in my voice. Yeah. I put a little accent mark at the end of each sentence so it goes up a little bit. But yeah, there was some girl was like a monitor who would grade the papers. So the other student, they just wouldn't wouldn't fuck people over for having similar homeworks. And I changed the wording a bit. Some of the other kids in our group didn't even change the wording. So people handed in identical homeworks.
They were JPing it.
Yes.
That's fucking cool, man. I mean, why not?
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Why
but
not,
yeah, the
dude?
ChatGPT, if you can just fully write your own papers,
It would be cool.
How will
it would be cool
anyone be
if,
able to tell?
You take advantage of ChatGPT in that sweet little window before anyone knew about it.
Yeah.
I wish ChatGPT at least had one fucking a high school generation or two to go through before people caught on to it.
Yeah.
Maybe it has, and maybe the fact that we're only really knowing about it now. Kids might have figured it out well beforehand.
Yeah.
So hopefully, kids, I hope you figured it out. Everyone deserves to know ways to cheat.
Yeah.
What
was the coolest way you ever cheated?
Fucking copying shit.
Just copying off other people's papers.
Yeah, I would always
class.
have or I would have the answer sheet written on the book and looking at it every once in a while.
Okay.
Teachers were never that strict about it. They never walked up and down. They were always at their desk grading. So
I did one in junior high school. I broke my leg, and it was the cast was all the way up past my knee. I couldn't even really get around on crutches, so I had a wheelchair. And on the wheelchair, they put a wooden desk that were Velcroed on, and I had all my friends sign it and write stuff. So in the corners, I would write test answers.
Nice. A, B, D, C.
No, I'd write my Spanish conjugations. I remember that was the one I had in the corner.
Fuck, dude, I hated high school, and I hated all that shit.
Yeah.
So much pressure.
Yeah.
And now it's oh, what about when you're an adult? It's damn, being an adult is chill.
Yeah.
I have a job that, I'm all right. I've had this job for a while, so I know how to do it. It doesn't stress me out.
I do kind of miss the idea of not having a job and not having to worry about making money is kind of cool.
Yeah, but you had other worries. You had to worry, am I going to get into college? You had to worry about your whole future. They do nothing but,
make
instill
you worry
fear
about,
about the future. Well, you better pay attention now, because if you don't pay attention now, you won't get into a good college. And if you won't get into a good college, you won't get a good job. And if you won't get a good job, you'll never move on with your life.
If you do that really fun thing you want to do, it's going to go on your permanent record.
That non-existent permanent record.
Yeah. What about you? Did you ever cheat?
No, of course not.
Because you're not a rule, but you had a couple of years where you were a little bit rebellious. You went against the rules for a little bit.
I don't remember if we told this story already, but I did once cheat along with everybody else in this class.
Yeah.
Because it was this really hard chemistry.
So you'll only cheat if there's peer pressure?
Yeah. It's the only time you cheat is if everybody else is doing it, then it cancels each other out. The old my-lie defense.
Yeah.
But I had this really hard chemistry homework, and someone found the answers on the internet, and this was the advent of that happening.
Yeah.
And we just all passed it around on AIM.
Yeah.
And I tried to do the chemistry homework, and then I got angry at how hard it was.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to all of us, that the teacher was doing that thing where he was wasn't it hard? Well, don't worry, I'm not even gonna grade it. I just wanted you guys to see how hard chemistry was, or whatever bullshit.
Yeah.
So I thought I was being slick because I changed like 3 answers.
Yeah.
And then I handed it in, and the next day he's real serious. I remember it was our teacher, Mr. Sherman. He's the only Jewish teacher in the Catholic school.
And
And
in a Catholic school, he was a JOO.
he was a JOO. And he goes, "Now, I know you all cheated, and I'm disappointed." Gives this whole speech, and the whole time, I'm like, I'm fucking free, dude. I changed 3 of the answers.
Yeah.
It's he'll see. Oh, he didn't get 100. I didn't realize how fucking hard that was. Like a college level. Like we were all supposed to do bad.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there being like, I got 3 answers wrong on purpose. So then after, this is one of the most cringy things I've ever done.
Oh God.
Afterwards, I went up to him and I said, Mr. Sherman, just so you know, I didn't cheat. And I said this to his face.
Yeah.
And I'm making eye contact. And he goes, "Oh, is that so, Robert? Well, I'm glad to hear that." And he pulls it out and he goes, "It looks like you got all but 3 answers correct. That's very good." And he looks at me, and he's almost like he he almost thought for like a second, is this guy a prodigy? Is this guy fucking Goodwill Hunting?
Yeah.
And then he like asked me like, "What's the sign for helium?" And I was like, "I have no idea, dude."
Did you actually say that? I don't know.
I was like, "I don't know." And then he's like, "Why don't you get out of here?" And I just turned about face. And I'm like,
caved immediately.
I really fucked myself, dude, because we all cheated, but I was the only one afterwards that said that was bold enough to look him in his goddamn face
and think you could actually get away with it.
And I did not get away.
It's funny because like with him, it was like, man, this kid didn't learn anything.
Yeah.
That was like funny.
Did
Damn,
you
that's
think-
like double breaking the rules.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing to break the rules, but like when I would break the rules, like, hey, you caught me, I fucked up. You doubled down and you actually
thought you
lied.
had a way out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not good at breaking the rules, Joseph. So
Oh,
did
don't
you-
try to do that innocent. I'm an innocent guy. I don't know. I'm so innocent that's why I broke the law so severely because the idea is so boring.
Also, do you remember what you were thinking before that if you went up to him and said, "I didn't cheat," he would look at it and be like, "Oh, you know what? Actually, you did." Like, did you think that there would be that next, or I don't know, what was going through your head?
So I just like I didn't want to be in trouble,
Right.
and I didn't want to have to do the homework again.
Oh, that's what it was, that everyone had to do it again?
Yeah, and so I figured I'm like, and I sucked at chemistry anyway, so I'm like, this will put me in his good graces, and I'll not have to try in this class that's very hard for me.
What class was it?
Chemistry.
Chemistry, right.
Yeah, I'm like the opposite of Walter White, dude. I don't know how any of that shit works. And I've never taken a physics class, even in
I
college.
didn't either.
No physics ever.
Yeah.
I only took like what I needed to take.
Me
and
Yeah.
too, yeah.
I was like, I'm never doing this. I hated science shit.
Yeah, I
Dude,
got...
it's retarded. They make you do that in college. It's like, dude, I did this shit in high. Let me just focus on what I want to make a career out of.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like general education is awful.
Yeah.
Gen eds it's a scam. It's to make you go there longer so you pay more in tuition. I guess an argument could be made there was like, well, we're all coming from different high schools, so we don't know if we're all on the same playing field. But it's like, well, fucking let the chips fall where they may.
That's
I
what like
remember-
standardized testing is for. That's what
Yeah.
SATs are for.
I had to take a,
figure out like, okay,
yeah.
well, they should at least be able to figure out A to B because their test scores. What's even the point of like fucking submitting that shit to a college if you're just gonna have to do high school all over again?
Yeah.
Your first 2 years.
I took a placement exam before I went to college for math. I was doing journalism and ended up doing history.
They sent him back
But
to
it
middle
was-
school.
yeah.
when the results came in.
But it was just like, all right, we need to see what level of math you'll be qualified to take. And I had to take one math class. And this placement was just to decide what level that one math class would be. I'm like, should I fail this?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to take a hard math class.
Yeah.
And they told me I could take anything from like 118 up to 123. And the lowest one was mathematical thinking. which was like pretty easy, but it was like up to 120. He's like, so you could take calculus. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take mathematical thinking. Like, why, if given the option, would I go into school to study journalism and history?
Right.
Would I decide, yeah, I want to do calc?
Yeah. Never took calculus either.
I hated that.
Yeah,
shit.
I didn't.
I hated.
I had
journalism.
pre-calculus in high school.
I did a lot of. I did a lot of AP classes in high school, so I was able to skip a lot of the bullshit.
I had AP psychology, which counted as the science, so I didn't have to take physics.
I only took AP history.
Yeah. I wish I did. I didn't. I liked my history classes, but I remember. I don't know if we talked about this on air about my love of John Tyler from a history class in high school. Yeah, it was my senior year. It was like a U.S. government and U.S. history class, and we each got a president that we had to write a paper on. And I got John Tyler, and I was kind of class clown, so I was like, no matter what we would be learning about that day, I would bring up how John Tyler would have done it better.
Oh, that must have perturbed your teacher.
Different teacher, but yes, same school. Oh, actually, no, that was high school. Junior high school is when the teacher loved to say we perturbed him.
I'll perturb him right in his goddamn ass.
Yeah, but yeah, this history teacher used to always have like unique designs on his ties, and so at the end of the year, someone got him a printed out tie with John Tyler on it.
Oh, that's good. That's a
John
good
Tyler.
I honestly unironically appreciated like teachers that tried to be like cool or funny.
Yeah,
Because it's like I know that they're being corny, but like there's no other way to be like
funny as a teacher.
Right? Yeah, you can't be like tell dick jokes or something. You know, like I remember there was this our earth science teacher. He used to always have like the joke of the day.
Yeah.
And I always appreciated it, dude, because I like jokes, even if they're fucking popsicle stick jokes. You know what I mean?
It's fun.
Yeah, and he had we were talking about. I love this teacher because he was like, guys, I know you're used to my joke of the day at the beginning of the class, but today's joke is going to be in the middle of the lesson. And like no one besides me is excited for it. And then he goes, now it's time to talk about relative dating. And folks, I'm not talking about hillbillies. And I laughed, and nobody else did. And I saw the sadness in his eyes. You know what I mean? And now that I'm an adult, I'm
That's
like...
the day you decided to become a stand-up comedian?
The day the laughter began.
Yes.
Yeah. Now that I'm an adult, dude, like probably not getting pussy. You know what I mean? Like best case scenario, he's got a wife with a dry pussy, or
Yikes.
no pussy.
A pussy.
Wife with no pussy?
A wife. Yeah, they're getting more popular these days, Matthew.
It's the hottest thing right now.
Yeah. It's
come
the
home to your
hottest thing
fucking-
right now among kids, and it's women without pussies.
You come home to your wife without a pussy. She's got some Bud Lights for you, ready to go.
Yeah, dude. What a strange move on Bud Light's part.
Isn't that wild? And
What?
like the fact that like
That
the fact that it's cost them so much
it's
money.
very
Yeah.
fucking fun. And did you know it's like they think because after this whole thing happened, they're like VIP of marketing for like whatever division has like been put on leave. And
Did they really do? They did?
Yeah, and no one knows for sure, but it's like probably the fucking person that came up with this. Like they had one job, sell more beer, and then they sold less beer.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Significantly, like historically low.
And you know it's like somebody that just has their master's degree in fucking HR relations.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, well, this will make our brand seem more inclusive. Well, guess what? The people buying our product don't care about
like
inclusivity.
There's enough like Zima could have sponsored this person.
Yeah,
you know, like there's
exactly.
absolute like there's so many more brands of alcohol that
Yeah.
are synonymous with like gay culture and gay representation.
Well, no,
Is it? is absolute.
I mean, more or less. I mean, it's just like
Absolutely.
I feel like hard alcohols in general, just because they are
They loosen
lower
your butthole.
calorie. Yeah, and they loosen your asshole.
Poppers vodka instead of pop-offs. It's poppers.
But beer always just seemed kind of more of just like, yeah, it's straight shit.
It's also like an old person's idea of how young people think, because they're like, well, how do we appeal to the younger generation? I know, have this like very left-leaning activist. I'm like, do you know there's young people in Alabama that live in trailer parks?
I think
right?
also young like trans people and leftists didn't like it because they felt like it was pandering.
Yeah.
So it
Can't
did
win.
like it didn't even appeal to the people who they thought they'd be appealing to.
I'll tell you what, though, that Dylan Mulvaney,
Yeah.
that's one hot dude.
Yeah. I mean, God, her name's Dylan Mulvaney. Her initials are DM. How am I not going to slide in those?
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I
Hey,
mean?
true.
baby, I'm sorry about that Bud Light fiasco blowing up in your face.
Hey,
Hey,
baby, I
Dill.
don't care that you have stronger shoulders than me. How about you and I hang out sometime?
Hey Dylan, you want something else that's veiny?
How about my veiny dick in your ass?
Hey, do you want something that's about half the size of a Coke can? A fucking Bud Light can. I don't know how to riff. I forgot how.
Can.
Thanks, dude. Well, maybe that's why you get kicked out of those open mics at fucking
Yeah.
2:30.
Can you imagine?
Hey, we don't need that style here.
I
Bobo.
walk in and they orchestrate this show that has replaced the mic.
Yeah.
You guys sit over there. Look, audiency.
Also, I've been doing a bit about it, but I won't be able to for long because the Bud Light thing will be old news soon
We'll
anyway.
do it into the camera.
We'll do it here now
Yeah.
so that
ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
Matt Maran.
so that it can live forever on the podcast. Jack Daniels had teamed up with like RuPaul's Drag Race, and that was being brought up after the Bud Light thing. Some people were trying to get a protest going, but no, Jack Daniels didn't lose any money, and I'm like, yeah, Jack Daniels is the best drink ever. Bud Light's replaceable.
Yeah.
People aren't giving up their Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels, be undeniable. That's
Yeah.
their slogan.
Well, I think they just had like a pride flag. Or
No,
something.
they teamed with like RuPaul's Drag Race, so they had like drag queens in their ads.
I mean, that's fine.
well, Dylan Mulvaney's trans.
That's different.
Trans is different than drag.
Yeah,
I mean,
drag.
but as
doesn't-
far as like the right wing person who's gonna not want to buy
Yeah.
it anymore,
No, dude, because drag doesn't spit in the face of God's divine
Right.
creation. You know?
Yeah.
Drag is like, damn, God, you did a great job, but look, what if I put on some makeup?
Yeah.
God, trans is like, God, you fucked up. Now I gotta mutilate my penis one way or the other.
I think Jack Daniels is too good. I mean, yeah, if they had Hitler on Jack Daniels, I'd be like, yeah, there's a lot of us in Hollywood, you know?
That's still mine drink.
Yep.
That's what
Mine
you'd say.
drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's there's other whiskeys and bourbons, but Jack Daniels is like a uniquely great whiskey. Great Tennessee whiskey too. But the Bud Light, it's like, all right, if you have to drink Miller Lite or Coors Light or Michelob Ultra. Actually, Michelob Ultra is also Anheuser-Busch. Actually, I'll give credit to John Ajoda. Said we were on a show together, and he said that I look like I protest Bud Light by drinking Budweiser. John's very funny.
Hell yeah.
That's
dude.
awesome. That's
He's going to be
very
on
funny.
Fight Club tonight.
He is.
Oh my.
So, but if you're watching this,
It's
actually,
already out.
no, the live show will have happened. The episode will be coming out this week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Check it out unless you're busy, in which case Matt understands.
Yes. But yeah, Bud Light, I think you can't have like an advertising faux pas when you're an easily replaceable product.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Advertising in general is very interesting to me because it's just like, do people forget about Bud Light? Like, do people forget about McDonald's?
They have to, yeah.
Yeah, for some of them, I don't get it, but I also think there is something subliminal with I don't know, if I'm at a bar and it's like I have to order a beer, one of the first ones that'll come to mind will be one that I've seen a lot of ads of. I will just, unless it's a thing you're really into, if someone's getting whiskey, it's like, I don't know, do you know Michter's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know Jack Daniels
Yeah,
because of
that's
the
It's kind
advertising.
of creepy when you think about it. Like the advertisers, their marketers, their job is to like get inside our brains when we're not even like willing participants.
Yeah.
Like we just want to walk down the street, and it's like, well, how do we capture their attention?
Yeah.
I'm saying this is a guy that regularly does ambush comedy shows.
Right, yeah.
So
But yeah, it really is. I think you just put things in people's heads, and then when you're deciding where to eat, the
And-
ones that are places that have good advertising pop into your head
yeah,
sooner.
and I get it. Like, using like subliminals to kind of get your point across.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
I can think of 1,488 like ways that you could do that. You know.
yeah.
But subtle, so it's not like oh I feel like I'm getting advertised to, but it just puts something in your brain.
Right.
Where now you're thinking maybe a little differently than you would have before.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess technically my job is marketing though.
Yeah.
My day job, which Joe, you can't stop me. I'm gonna leave soon.
No, you're not.
I am, dude.
You're not, dude.
I'm gonna be so excited to tell people. You're the first person I'm gonna tell after my parents that I quit my job.
Yeah, but then what are you
You
gonna
should tell
do?
Joe before your parents.
Oh, absolutely, I will.
You're not gonna quit, dude.
I will.
No, you won't.
Come on. Why wouldn't I?
Because you need the security of a 9 to 5.
I actually do not.
Oh, really?
No,
Oh, really?
dude. I got a nice little nest. I could skate easy for a year if I wanted to.
We don't know that.
We do know that.
There's unknown expenses, though, Bobby. What if something
Dude,
happens?
when I moved to
What
New
if you
York,
got a woman pregnant?
Yeah.
What if you break your arm?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The insurance thing sucks because when I was at 1099 for a bit, I did spend almost $500 a month on insurance, and that's the biggest part. And
Yeah.
it's like gambling when you think about it, though, because it's like I probably won't need insurance, but then if I don't have insurance, I'm like, but I could potentially be like $30K in the hole if I have an oopsie daisy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That
dude.
sucks, dude. That's the one thing. I love America. LRT, you know that.
Yes.
But I think Europe really, and I'm sure there's idiosyncrasies I'm not aware of, but like the fact that they could just walk into an emergency room and it's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there is the whole thing, like I know Canada has an issue where it's like if you have a non-emergency thing you want to see a doctor for, like you legit have to wait a long time.
Like how long?
I don't know, but that's what I've heard. And
I
I've heard
heard
that from actual Canadians.
Yeah, I
too,
know.
so.
There's a Canadian wrestler who I knew who had to wait 18 months to get like a ACL fixed.
Bret Hart.
No, not Bret Hart.
Chris Benoit. he needed 18 months to see a therapist.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I guess I could wait that long.
Yeah.
I'm having mood swings, but nothing crazy.
Well, just get some exercise on your Nordic track and
Yeah.
let me know how you feel later.
Yeah, just
Maybe
work.
read the Bible.
Make sure your Bowflex is working.
yeah. Oh man, it was. But all jokes aside, it was sad what happened to that family.
Was it?
I think so.
Sucks for his older son that looks exactly like him and wants to get into pro wrestling.
Yeah,
Ooh, that is rough, dude.
Because like he goes by Benoit.
He goes by David Benoit. Yeah.
I would change my last name. I wouldn't necessarily change my last name actually, but I would use a different wrestling name.
I've seen him do interviews where he talks about it, where he's like, yeah, obviously it's all horrible, but also my dad was my hero. He died when he was
that's
like
rough,
10.
dude.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Is it? Your dad was a murderer.
Yeah, it's hard, but it's also like it was my dad.
Your dad killed
Yeah,
your
what the
baby
fuck
brother.
did your dad ever do?
Not
Who'd your
kill my
dad ever?
fucking mom.
Who'd your dad
Not
ever
kill
beat?
my fucking family.
Yeah.
My dad just plays piano. He's never murdered someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this weird thing because it's like, I'm sure he was a good dad for most of his life, and then just had an oopsie daisy.
Maybe to one of his kids, he was a good dad. To the other one, not so much.
Yeah.
He had
Yeah.
an oopsie daisy.
He had one bad day.
Yep.
Benoit.
I don't think that someone should be penalized for 20 years of their life for 20 minutes of action.
I'm Bill Cosby, 80 years, 60 bad days. Not that honestly, he had most days he did not rape.
I've been thinking
Like
that-
99% of the days he lived, he didn't rape.
Yeah. It was mostly peaceful life, Bill Cosby.
Yes, a
Yeah.
mostly peaceful life.
Mostly peaceful life,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Peaceful life.
Dude, it is a little. I wish someone less talented had raped all those women because Bill Cosby himself is a classic album.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Bill Cosby himself is a rapist.
Who would you
That
have?
is the worst titled album for a guy whose personal life is awful.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you could separate the art from the artist. Really? What's his best record? Himself.
Who would you rather have been a rapist in the comedy scene?
Hannah Gadsby.
Ooh.
That would, doth protest too much.
That would be real funny.
She's like, listen, okay, everything I talked about, like, you know how you change little things and bits
Yeah.
to make them funnier?
Yeah.
I changed myself from the rapist to the victim because I thought it would make me more likable on stage.
It's just actually, she says she doesn't rape, just like she said she was going to quit comedy.
Yeah.
And
It's the liar left and right.
Her whole thing, and I know Nanette has been like dissected to death by podcaster comedians like ourselves.
I never watched it.
Me neither.
Oh, I watched it.
Yeah, I don't fucking watch it. Nothing with some gash. I'm like, shut up, bitch. Every time. I can't say that for a full hour.
Yeah,
I'd be
you get
exhausted.
exhausted.
Shut up, bitch. I'm all like, fucking.
Kelly's bringing you water.
She's like, can we just turn something on? I'm not done yet. Shut up, bitch.
Joe, you know she can't hear you, right? If I say it loud enough, maybe she will.
This is a 6-year-old special.
Her whole thing, though, was because she was like, I'm tired of doing... Because she was doing, like, hacky, self-deprecating stuff about being a fat lesbian.
Yeah.
And she's like, and now I refuse to do that. And
Now
now I just
I'm-
talk about how I got raped. I'm like, there's, like, an in-between.
Yes.
There's so
I
much-
must make puns about Picasso.
Yeah, exactly.
What a
I
dumbass,
haven't seen
dude.
it, but I know I've seen clips from it, and I know like what it was.
Yeah.
So I can't like dissect it. But my whole thing with it was her whole thing was I don't like comedy. I don't like the comedy forces you to be this, which it doesn't force anyone to be anything.
Yeah.
And then she was gonna quit, and then she did really well with the special, and then didn't quit.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't know, the whole thing
well,
just.
She's the comedian version of Jay-Z. She was like, this is my last album. And
Did
then
Jay-Z do
everyone-
that?
Yeah, he retired and then had
Yeah.
more albums.
Jiggle, what?
That's what I said.
Yeah. Well, I actually don't mind. I mean, pro wrestlers retire and then have matches after that either. But that's just like.
Only when they need to come back.
Yeah, it's like I'm retiring so you can make money on a retirement show and then come back. That's kind of what. But if you're trying to make like take a moral high ground, make a moral point of like, I don't like this thing. This is what I believe, and this is why I'm not going to do this anymore. Oh wait, I can make money. Like to me, it's almost the most direct selling out I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Where like there's other things where like, did they really sell out? Who kind of like she literally said, I think this is morally wrong, but I'm going to do it because I can make money.
It's all about the bag for most people.
She did one more special, and then that was it.
I think she got another one coming out.
No, she won't. Never again.
That's what never again means to Joe is
Yeah.
watching women do comedy.
Never again.
He wears a little yellow ribbon lapel on his fucking shirt to commemorate the one time he sat through a woman doing comedy. That wasn't his girlfriend.
It's never happened, dude. Every time I've done it, I was like, now I gotta date this bitch.
Joe watches fucking Amy Schumer, and then
Yeah.
after she cuts off stage, he's like, all right, let's go back to my place.
Yeah.
Damn, I saw like a fucking documentary on Amy Schumer when she was like being pregnant and stuff. Unsettling looking woman, dude.
Yeah.
Yikes.
That's your review as like a Roger de Ebert.
Yeah. I give her fucking physical appearance a million thumbs down.
Yeah, it's crazy too because I get that like fame is difficult and life is difficult, but she was like so in the album mostly sex stuff and that special.
Yeah.
She's like smoking hot,
And she's very funny.
and she's
The early stuff, first album,
Yeah.
first stuff is really good.
yeah, that Jesselnick influence really helped.
She was a seller comic. She was just like one of the guys.
Yeah,
Or one of
well,
the comics.
If it was up to me,
yeah.
she'd be a seller comic again, but in a different way, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm.
But yeah, then like bread just became too delicious. I don't know what it is. Bread and Xanax, I think. I think
Yeah.
it's equal parts. She's on the bread and Xanax diet for sure.
Yeah. But what? So who's a comic who you would have liked to have seen been the rapist besides Cosby?
Ooh.
Like a historic one. So it's like you said someone less talented, but it would still have to be someone big enough for it to be a big story.
I would say Mark Twain, the father of stand-up comedy.
Yeah. Like a
That's
Sinbad.
true.
Like a Sinbad.
No, Sin good, dude. Who?
Gallagher.
Gallagher.
That's it. Probably.
Damn.
Richard Belzer.
Oh, that would be insane. Oh, after being on all those Law and Orders. That'd be a rough one if you're on all these episodes of like. Remember there was a Law and Order episode with like a comedian making rape jokes who ended up being a rapist.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a guy who was like on like an edgelord type guy. They recorded it at the comic strip.
Okay.
And he was just doing like rape jokes, and then it turned out the lawyers were there, and that was like a clue that this guy might be the rapist they're looking for.
Watch out, Bobby. We've been joking about this shit on podcasts before. Do you think we'll ever get in trouble for the things we've said on this podcast?
No, I don't know if any of us will ever.
Be famous enough?
Yeah.
Thank God, dude. Honestly, that's the greatest gift a comedian can have is anonymity.
And I feel bad for our brothers in comedy that are like that hold back on like saying funny shit, and then it's like they don't make it.
Yeah.
And it's like at least you could have not made it and said funny shit.
Yeah.
You know. That's the writers for that episode. It's such a fucking blogger's idea of how comedy works. Where if you're like, oh, I'm making a rape joke because I rape.
Yeah.
If anything, if you're a fucking rapist, it's you're like.
The most famous comedy rapist notoriously did clean comedy and called Eddie Murphy to tell him to curse less.
Eddie Murphy, who was actually heroically having sex with trans prostitutes.
Yes.
Which makes him a fucking hero by today's standards.
Transvestite in the front, Eddie Murphy in the back.
Well, he was fucking trans prostitutes while opening his specials by dropping slurs about gay people.
I want to kill a gay person while looking like the biggest fucking faggot imaginable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like opening.
He's like, I kill a gay man.
Well,
I kill a faggot. And like he looked like he had like a fucking dude sucking his dick in the middle of the
black
stage.
guys and Italians, two famously homophobic groups of people, the gayest people too.
Yeah.
Do you think
they
it
get
has-
fucking manicures?
Yeah.
and they have a barber. That's the thing. Yeah. Black guys being homophobic is so very fucking funny to me. And then they have their own special hairdresser that they schedule an appointment with. It's so funny, dude.
Well, because the whole he comes out in like the full like red jumpsuit, and his like opening line is like, "Oh, I look a little too good. I don't want any faggots looking at my butt."
Yeah.
She like
good.
runs around the stage so the gay people in the audience can't get a good view of his butt.
Mm-hmm.
Classic.
And
dude.
then the next special 3 years later, because the on the album listing on Raw, the name of the bit is just faggots. And then
Hell
3
yeah.
years later on Delirious, he has a bit that's faggots revisited.
Revisit so much, so many unanswered questions from the first album.
Right.
Faggots Revisited is whenever I go on a second date.
Yeah.
That's what the girl calls it.
Now that I'm 3 years wiser,
Yes.
let's go back to some of these topics I initially touched upon,
Right.
and see how my road weary expertise has developed, and my
Yeah.
takes have become even greater.
Robin Williams as a rapist.
Ooh, Robin, we're raping. Oh, my dick in your ass. It's a wonderful thing. Who else? David Letterman.
Oh, David Letterman. He's too talented. I think. If we're talking about like, well, so is Robin Williams. I'm just like thinking of like legacy comedy names. These are Robin Williams, Letterman would I think be just as upsetting as Cosby.
Yeah.
Probably more so because he's like a white guy.
Jay Leno, right as he's about to enter and she's crying, he's like, "Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?"
Hey, folks, have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
I guess Jay Leno, he got some shit. I think he got more shit than he deserved. Because, he hosted a Milquetoast Tonight show.
Yeah.
Which, all right. But he was always like a good stand-up.
Well, it was the way he acquired the late night talk show.
Oh, because, yeah.
He
I
like,
think
kinda
he...
stole it from David Letterman.
I think some of that was like I read the book, and it seems like Leno's let his agents kind of handle everything, and if they would do shitty things, he wouldn't ever like be like.
Yeah, but that's come on.
That's
Hollywood,
also
baby.
that's also what you would say if you want to not get any heat for the bad shit.
Yes, or it has like a Pontius Pilate feel to it, where
Yeah.
it's like, well, I hired these agents and then they do whatever, and
Yeah.
I know that they're gonna do shady
Well-
shit, and I don't stop them.
Yeah, it's like
Is
the
that my fault?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
like the studio wanted Leno, but Carson wanted Letterman. That was the thing.
I do think Letterman is funnier just because he has this cynicism to him, which I think innately is more funny. Where like Jay Leno seems like an affable guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is like, I don't know. There's like, it's a less funny person to be. I think
I always thought-
Leno's the
yeah.
guy making like clever quips, like
Yeah.
almost like wordplay. And
Yeah.
Dave Letterman's like, I see the bullshit in everybody.
Like if you're
You know
hanging
what I
out
mean?
in the back of a room and a comic's on stage, you and Letterman will shit on the guy on stage.
Yeah.
Leno will like add tags to the
Yeah.
jokes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always thought Letterman's people on the street. That was some of like the best stuff he was always doing.
Yeah. You know, I love when Kimmel does man on the street stuff. Like Kimmel was a guy who I loved the Man Show, so I generally think positively about Kimmel. I feel like if I watched his show now all the time, I wouldn't. But when I would see the Man in the Street, when they would like ask people political questions that were not true. They would ask like people on the street who won the first lady debate, and everyone would have an answer. Every Democrat would say, "Oh, Michelle Obama just crushed Melania Trump." Like, I love when they would like do. They went to Coachella and they asked people about bands that were made up, and they all pretended to know the band.
It's so rough, dude. Because it's funny too, because the type of person that would pretend to know the band is the same type of person that would be crushed to know that millions of people are laughing at them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because like the type of person that goes, I've actually never heard of them, has the same humility that would allow them to laugh at themselves.
Yeah.
So it's the perfect con.
I would be like, I'm gonna sound so old, but I have no idea who those bands are.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's like hey, I just came here to see this band. And then like they'd be like, oh, what an endearing person.
Yeah.
Then they would be like, then you go like viral for that shit where it's like, how endearing, just the most endearing person at Coachella.
Yeah.
Humblest man in Coachella.
Did you ever get in California, right?
I don't know.
You ever
I never go to that fucking shit.
Did you ever
dude.
do Burning
No.
Man?
No, fuck
I could
that,
see you
dude.
doing Burning Man.
Absolutely
No.
fucking not, dude. I do drugs in the comfort of my own house. I don't want to
Right.
go with a bunch of fucking trust fund kids and these fucking business people who on the weekend like, oh, well, I get spiritual at Burning Man. Fuck that. That could suck my dick, dude.
Yeah.
Do drugs in the comfort of your own house, folks.
Fuck, what was it?
Don't waste money and don't humanize other rich people.
There was some documentary I saw about a guy who owns some like major company. He like lives in the mountains doing yoga all the time. I forgot what it was, but it was one of those where I'm like, I think it's impossible not to be a little bit of a weirdo if you're a billionaire. When you get to that point, you can literally do anything you want. I mean, who's gonna just? I don't think there's a lot of people who get there that just will sit at home and play video games. I think there's gotta be like, I would be like the weirdo who moved to the mountains.
I would stay here and I would just play video games and snort ketamine.
Yeah.
And order Seamless.
Do you think if Joe dies of a ketamine overdose, the next episode of Locker Room Talk we would name it Morning Joe?
Morning Joe Revisited.
Yes.
We star out Joe.
Yeah.
It's J star.
Yeah.
Damn.
Ooh, then people would think we are morning Jews.
Morning Jews.
Yeah. Morning Jews.
Morning Jews is what happened after the Holocaust.
Yeah.
A lot of morning Jews.
That's my impression of a Nazi guard. Morning Jews.
Hi, Hans. They all have to say hi.
I have to say it back.
Yeah.
Do you ever have a teacher like that like walked into class and was so chipper?
The bell doesn't dismiss you. I dismiss you.
Yeah.
It's like I dismiss you every time you talk, bitch, because I don't respect you.
Or it's like the chipper, like, hi, how is everyone?
Yeah.
And you have the Leno and the Letterman. The Lenos who are like, oh, she's so nice. And the Letterman's like, this fucking cunt.
Yeah. But it goes back to like the teachers that would like make dad jokes. I almost appreciated that. Like, they know it sucks. Like they went to school too.
Yeah.
And they're at work. It sucks for everybody. It's what I get creeped out by now thinking about it in hindsight are the
teachers who complimented the girl's appearance.
There's that. And also fucking the guys that or women or whatever that the teachers that definitely had like they were getting off on the power trip. And like now as an adult I'm like they were such fucking losers.
Yeah.
To get off on being like, well, you know who has to listen to me? Children.
Yeah.
Guess who's not at the bottom of the social hierarchy after all?
Yeah.
This guy.
You'd think more teachers would be shot in these school shootings. It's like, damn, why are you fucking shooting a kid that probably doesn't even want to be there anyway? Shoot the teachers that are fucking... Damn, that teacher was one day away from retirement.
Yeah. They saw everything.
Yeah.
They saw everything. Damn, Mr. Patterson, I didn't know you like to get wet.
I bet like if more teachers were shot, then teachers would start being nicer to students.
Dude, I remember there was this one teacher. We had this assignment where we had, and this is like 5th or 6th grade, we had to advertise our town as if we were like a travel agency. And I'm from Greenwood Lake. So someone wrote on the brochure, again, 5th or 6th grade, welcome to beautiful green hyphen, next line, Wood Lake. So they broke up Greenwood.
Yeah.
And she lifted it up and she was like, "This is an example of something you shouldn't do. Break up a word in the middle of a title of a pamphlet. Just make the word its own line. Obviously, don't hyphenate this word." And I'm like, even as a little kid, I'm like, it's just a stupid project to keep us busy while our parents are at work.
Jesus Christ. Who was that? Was this in Catholic school?
No, I was in public school. I didn't go to Catholic school till junior high school.
God, that sucks. Damn, dude. Hey, Locker Room Talk listeners, why don't you fucking find out who Bobby's teacher was?
Yeah.
Pay a little visit to her place with an aluminum bat and crack her head like the fucking peanut brain she is.
I don't know. I kind of
Do you
like
think
the
we'll get in
idea.
trouble for fucking threatening that woman?
No.
I kind of like the
Alright.
idea of doing that at comedy shows. After someone's bit bombs, just have someone else come up with the mic. It's like, now this is what we don't do.
That premise with no punchline, why would you do that?
Yeah.
I had a, I don't know if stop me if I've already told the story in the pod, but I had a teacher in second grade that legit had a mental breakdown in front of us.
Oh, yeah.
I think you
mentioned
did
that,
tell
yeah.
this story, but we don't listen to you, so tell it again.
That's true, and I'm assuming our listeners also don't.
Right.
So everyone's hearing it for the first time. In second grade, we had, I shouldn't say her last name, but she had a
Go
German
ahead.
last name, which made this whole situation worse.
Heimler.
Yeah, Mrs. Heimler. And she was fucking... Now, in hindsight, I'm like, she was either a spinster or someone that couldn't come to grips with her lesbianism. Those are the only options. But very alone old woman. And she used to yell at us like we were adults.
Yeah.
And I remember one time she was having a bad day. I remember this, even though I was in second grade. She talked to a kid, like asked him a question, and he was like, "I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention." And she was like, "You guys are driving me crazy today. I can't handle it anymore. You think it's funny not to pay attention in Mrs. What was her name?
Hemler.
Hemler. You think it's funny not to pay attention in Mrs. Hemler's class? One day, I'm going to go outside in the parking lot with a revolver and shoot myself in the head, dead, and it'll be all of your fault."
Jesus. Yeah, I remember you telling me this.
Isn't that crazy?
Jesus
Oh, yeah,
Christ.
dude.
And I went home and played Nintendo.
And then, like,
I didn't say
yeah.
anything to my parents. Parents were calling each other. My mom comes downstairs. She's on the phone. She's like, "Did Mrs. Hemler say something upsetting in class today?" And didn't take a break from Mario 64. I'm like, "Yeah, she said something about shooting herself and it would be her fault, but she's always saying weird stuff." Isn't that fucking wild, dude?
Nice, dude. You
She
think
did it with a
actually-
German accent, so it was kind of charming.
Yeah.
I am going to shoot myself. Is that German? I don't. I
It's
think I
certainly
just.
something,
Swedish.
Matthew.
I don't know what I went to there for a second.
Matthew, know thy enemy. You should
Yeah.
have that accent down pat.
I should.
Mm.
I don't know.
I got Dutch for a second there with a. I went like upbeat.
Thinking about stuff like that now that I'm an adult, I'm like, fuck, it's terrifying being a parent and knowing that teachers aren't benevolent forces. They're just random adults that apply to a job.
Yeah, they should get paid less.
I think so.
Yeah.
They shouldn't even get paid.
They get summers off, dude.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
teachers will roll their eyes and be like, "Yeah, we have summers off." It's like, you do.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, 2 months. They're like, "Well, sometimes we have to plan lessons after hours at work." I'm like, yeah, you're not the only profession where you have to work outside 9 to 5,
Yeah.
fucker.
Yeah. I mean, they're done at 3, so
Yeah.
But they
They're
started
still
like,
done at-
They're 7 to 3
get out of here, bitch. No, they don't. No one has to
or
start
8
school.
to 3. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
They're like, "I have to do this lesson plan that has been planned out for me, and I have to ask the prompts that are written down in my teacher book."
That would
I'm
suck.
exhausted.
That would suck to have to be like a fucking, that A class where you have to get in early at like 6:30. It starts at 6:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to get up at like 5:30, dude. Fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah.
God damn, that would suck.
And honest, this
Go ahead.
no, I should step off my soapbox.
Okay, I was just gonna ask Joe. Is this a new TV?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at the TV. I'm like, hey, Joe said he got a new TV.
That's right, baby.
Like it so far?
I love it, dude. I can play the PlayStation. It looks fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a masterpiece, baby.
Yeah. What
Best
games you
investment
playing?
of my life. Right now, I'm playing Assassin's Creed. I'm playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm playing Fortnite. Playing them all. I'm playing all the
Now,
classics,
what
baby.
would an Assassin's Creed be? Would it be like a Black Sabbath inspired Do It over and over again?
Sort of. It's like this crazy
It
story.
would be an
line.
assassin who loves Christian rock.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Can you take me higher to the 11th floor where the president is?
Yeah.
Would you kill the president?
Only if it was convenient.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm not taking time out of work.
Right.
You know.
You're a struggling entertainer.
Yeah, I wear many hats. I don't know if I want. Can you imagine an entertainer?
Bob Wilkes Booth.
Ooh, nice dude.
Yeah. An entertainer who kills it. Yeah, he was like a well-known actor, right?
I heard someone describe it as John Wilkes Booth like killing Abraham Lincoln. That's like if you found out Luke Wilson killed Biden.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
The brother of the famous actor?
John Wilkes Booth's brother was a famous actor.
Yeah, and more famous. His
Yeah.
dad and his brother were like he was overshadowed by both of them.
He was the Emilio Estevez.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Emilio
didn't have
Estevez
tiger
went
blood.
to go see Joe Biden,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he'd be like, quack attack his back, Jack.
Yeah.
And then he fucking blows out his brain. That'd be sick, dude.
Dude, Emilio Estevez's character in Mighty Ducks is such a fun one because it's one of those that now they did the adversity in the beginning the person goes through that they overcome where he's a bad guy but becomes a good guy, but it's bad enough that now if we watched it we just wouldn't like that guy for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
He's just like drunk driving, he hates kids, he's like shitty boyfriend, he's just shitty everywhere.
He fucking rocks, dude.
Yeah.
The man simply could not stop striking up wins.
Yes.
I haven't seen that show in forever. I got to rewatch that
What,
movie.
Mighty Ducks?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mighty Ducks is good. Emilio Estevez is fun in Breakfast Club, too.
I never saw that.
Is he the
movie.
bully?
No, that's Judd Nelson. He's the jock.
Yes, I
Yeah.
remember now.
Who was the nerd?
Oh, I know Anthony Michael Hall is in it. Is he the nerd in it?
No, he's like the Peter Parker.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of a crush, Joseph.
On Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah.
Fucking faggot.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.